Gunpla, Bandai's line of mecha model kits based on the awe-inspiring mobile suits of the various Gundam universes. It's the greatest hobby to ever exist, and every year I count down the best of the best so you can know exactly which ones to buy for the perfect Gundam build experience. Welcome to Mecha Gaikotsu's best Gundam kits of 2025. Just barely pinching onto the arse of the 10th position with a pair of hyper-deuterium-powered claws is the high-grade Zagok from Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Freedom. Born from a wish and a meme, this kit is the ultimate Seed fanservice and the only Seed high-grade of the year. When it comes to the build, this is a build like no other. Just like the anime, this is a Gundam on the inside, Zagok on the outside. The actual process of layering some Infinite Justice parts with panels of Zagok is equal parts awesome and hilarious. And the finished build is surprisingly solid for a Zagok. The 10th position was hotly contested this year with 4 kits fighting for the position, but the Zagok went out using the usual tiebreaker. It's the one that got the most views. Visually, the Zagok is an absolute winner, pretty much 100% anime accurate in overall silhouette design and color separation. The only sticker included is for the eyes, and not even the eye of the Zagok, but for the eyes of the concealed Infinite Justice Gundam, which also has peekaboo parts in the backpack, knees, and the feet. Beautiful mechanical color separation all over the place, down to the mono eye, head missiles, and beautiful armor layering in the torso-shoulder area. Accessories-wise, the Zagok comes with a great spread, alternate claws with glitter-infused burning orange blades, Volatus backpack identical to the one that came with 2024's Infinite Justice Spec 2, which is an X-Wing style backpack with amazing color separation and articulation, which also includes some pink beam blade effects from the wings. On top of this, it is worth mentioning that the Zagok is compatible with the classic Infinite Justice's backpack too, the Fatum, just in case you're curious. Last up, we do have a damaged head alternative part for reproducing the iconic Infinite Justice reveal scene from the movie. This is just in pink out of the box, which does require painting, but a cool addition nonetheless. Finally, the Zagok does feature full compatibility with the high-grade Infinite Justice Type 2, so you can remove the simple placeholder Gundam body from inside the Zagok and attach in your actual high-grade Infinite Justice Spec 2. A cool, but somewhat pointless gimmick, because you know, it still looks the same once it's all closed up, and now you're left with half an Infinite Justice. Lastly then, the articulation in here is phenomenal for a Zagok. Overall great articulation all round, nice knee and elbow bends complementing the serpentine limbs, but mildly limited at the ankles and hips, still resulting in the most solid, most posable, most impressive high-grade Zagok to date. The final word. This meme machine is 50% Gundam, 50% Zagok, and 100% the best high-grade Zagok out right now. Trippin' balls in the Kira Kira of the 9th position is the new main Gundam from the anime of the exact same name, G-quax. 2025 was the year of the G-quax, with 12 of 26 releases being G-quax kits. If there's one thing you can say about this high grade, it's that it's unique, breaking both the overall Gundam design mold as well as the high-grade mold too. However, it does suffer somewhat from its ambitious design. The high-grade G-quax is a build like no other, for better or worse. Pros. This feels like no high-grade build that came before, a refreshing, almost action figure style build with unique design and locking joints. Cons. Not compatible! This kit having a 100% unique build does mean that no out-of-box Gundam Breaker style kit bashes, as the various elements, arms, legs, torso, head, even the backpack, all have proprietary brand new attachments that just don't work with other older high-grade kits. A bit sad. Aesthetically, the G-quax is insane, almost a remix of the classic Gundam design. All the classic factors are here, just different. The usual Gundam color scheme of red, white, blue, and yellow is here, just the tones have been altered and the color placement shifted. Out of box, this looks incredible, with insane color separation, ridiculous part separation, and unique, crazy surface geometry. A beautiful head design and multi-layered, ridiculously designed legs containing visible fuel tanks. But it's not all good news. Even though it does look impressive out of box, it does require 2 sheets of stickers plus painting of details to be fully line art accurate, so it is a high grade that does suffer from being based on an ambitious design. Although stickers and details are completely optional and it looks great, just snap built. Accessories wise, this kit is continuing on the classic Gundam remix. The G-quax right here comes with the old school Gundam sword, board and beam rifle loadout with some extras. We've got some beautiful optional widespread hands, incredibly fun new take on beam sabers with curved pearl green beams, which look dynamic in the hands and can be stored around on the butt. The Heat Hawk puts the heat in Hawk. Wait, no it doesn't. You need to paint the blade. Detailed and beautifully color separated beam rifle, and a curved, almost odd looking shield. Cockpit part for attaching onto the backpack to recreate the core fighter, and a full, and I repeat, full swappable alternative head to display G-quax with a closed V-fin. A full head is always a fantastic addition because some kits tend to opt for an either or style build, and you could only really have one of them. This kit has them both, so you can swap them out whenever you want to. Lastly, when it does come to the articulation, this is where this kit really does shine. This poses and feels more akin to an action figure than a plastic model. Overall, every joint is fluid with great range of motion, combined with unique new joint designs which lock in place, resulting in one of, if not the most posable high grades around. But I will mention it does feel a little bit delicate in the hand, so beware. The final word. This is Gundam and Gunpla both reborn and remixed, an incredible model kit, but it may not be for everyone. Smashing into your wallet in the 8th position like a beam-emitting disco ball of death is 2025's biggest and most expensive full-release Gundam, the Psycho Gundam Mark II. And most expensive at 11,000 yen or $110 does pale in comparison to, well, the most expensive exclusive kit this year. The Psycho Gundam Mark II is a high grade standing at the height of a perfect grade, and an upgrade in every possible way to 2004's original Psycho Gundam. Even in price, that's more than double. But yeah, worth it though. This kit is so good that I made up a brand new award for must build kits called the New Type Award, and this kit got it. Build wise, there really is nothing quite like building a huge Gundam, and this one was such a joy. As a high grade, it's a simple enough build, but Bandai truly went all out with this one. The color separation is phenomenal, the design of every body part is perfect, including the detail, the joints, and super intelligent locking mechanisms. And mostly perfect out of box. Besides the shoulders. Glue that armor. Aesthetically, this is 80s Zeta eye candy at its finest. I mean, it's huge, it's purple, it's looks maxed. The color separation is incredible, pretty much 100% out of box with beautiful red panel details and yellow cannons everywhere. And I mean everywhere, even on the bottom of the feet. It's hard to deny the cool factor of a giant kit that dwarfs a high-grade collection and stands tall with the high-grade heavy hitters, outperforming pretty much all of them. When it comes to the accessories, this giant box is bursting at the seams with so many options. We've got a spare V-fin, you will need it. Fully articulated hands, beautiful. Hand options include wired Psychomu parts, a huge beam blade, and finger blasting for days. Tons of reflector bits with open and closed options can be stored in sliding containers around back. 3 stands, 2 of which based on the Witch from Mercury mini stands for displaying the Psychomu arms and the reflector bits. And one bigger stand that, well, struggles to hold to the verge of breaking under this behemoth. Not great. But what is great is the alternate damaged head replicating one of the best mecha gore scenes in all of Gundam. However, this is for displaying mainly as a sort of getaway car as opposed to an actual head option. Beautiful mecha gore though. Articulation wise, worst thing first. The hips are a little bit loose. Besides that though, it is fantastic. Minor limitations at the legs as expected from a kit this large, and impressive articulation in the upper body and arms, culminating to a decently posable, high-grade beast. But where this gets incredibly impressive is the transformation. The old school Psycho Gundam was a hollow bucket that folded into itself. The Mark II goes above and beyond with locking and unlocking mechanisms that keep both the mobile suit mode and the mobile armor mode solid. Even a locking push-pull vernier switch in the taint. Recessing head, huge sliding feet mechanisms, all coming to the crescendo that is a purple floating brick. I mean, life is all about the journey, not the destination, right? The final word. The biggest and baddest freestanding high grade of 2025 might just be the biggest and baddest freestanding high grade of all time. get one. 12 high-grade G-quax kits entered into the arena in 2025, but only 2 made it into the top 10, one being G-quax itself, and gracing the 7th position, and my choice for the best G-quax kit is the high-grade Rick Dom, a classic UC design retooled to perfection for the modern day. The build of this kit is great. Are you a fan of classic UC Xeon designs but let down by the build of older kits? Then this is the kit for you. Nice big parts, intricate detailing like the mono eye and verniers of the feet, and oh yeah, this might just be the only Gunpla where you have to build the same leg 3 times. That's cool. Aesthetically, the Dom is a classic Gundam staple and it's never looked better in 1/44th scale. Well, maybe it has, but this one is more classic. Well, sort of. From the front. First off, there is one fairly big aesthetic faux pas with this particular kit. For the most part, it looks like it walked straight on out of the anime, but that is until you lift it up and take a look at the bottom of its feet. All of these beautiful articulated verniers are meant to be red on the inner surface, so quite a bit of painting and detailing to get them looking just right. There are also a couple of mold lines on the legs that need a bit of attention, but the good does outweigh the bad, with a beautiful, posable, clear pink mono eye, tiny detailed fins on the shoulders, and overall a beautiful, classic looking Dom. The set of accessories in here is quite befitting a Dom, classic or otherwise. 4 hand options, just 1 holding hand for the right, but 3 options for the left, including a beautiful widespread dynamic hand and posable wire anchor option. Melee weapons include heat sabers. They're basic and to the point but look incredible in the hand due to the kit's articulated wrists. Last up is the giant bazooka, and you can underline the word giant. This weapon is huge, features a handle with great articulation, and there really isn't anything quite as old school classic Gundam, quite like a Dom equipped with a giant bazooka. The articulation in here is super impressive. For a Dom, a very heavy solid high grade, the Rick Dom GQ can pose very well for a clunker. The 3 legs are a whole lot of fun, nice gimmicks like recessing elbows, moving verniers on the feet, and a moving mono eye. Insane movement in the ab crunch and multi-jointed shoulders, and overall, it's a dynamic, over-the-top posing experience, again, for a Dom. The final word. Are 3 legs better than 2? Maybe not, but it's a great kit. Blasting into the 6th position on budget-friendly wings is the latest installment of low-cost Gunpla known as Entry Grade. This is the Entry Grade Wing Gundam. In 2025, we got 3 Entry Grade releases, being this, the Strike Rouge, and the RX-78F00. But when it comes to kits that don't hit the self-destruct button on your wallet, to me, the Wing was the best of the bunch. The build here brings something to the table for both newbies to the hobby and for veteran builders. A simple build, but with some impressive layering of parts. There is only 1 bag in the side of the box with 3 runners inside of it, but the plastic is split up so nicely into the colors, and the build layers up impressively into a tiny, accurate mecha masterpiece. Aesthetically, for the price and the scale, this kit is astounding. Retailing for only $7 in Japan, this is insane yield for the yen. Straight built out of box, some of the molded detail can be a bit lost, so this is a kit where panel lining is essential to make those lines pop. Wing right here is almost 100% color accurate to the anime, has 0 color correcting stickers, and parts that build up in layers, resulting in crazy small detail including vents, machine cannons, and color separated eyes. All built in to the perfect Wing TV silhouette. I will mention some people don't like the pearl booger green in the chest though, I don't mind it. When it comes to the accessories, the entry grade Wing is a budget kit with a budget loadout. But seriously, not too bad. A whole bunch of entry grade kits came out that, well, had nothing at all with them. In here we have single piece fist hands with the holding bit, and I will mention they are single piece, which means you can't open them up, so they are not compatible with every high grade weapon out there. However, mentioning compatibility, we do have the standard high grade backpack for kit bashing and customs. Weapons-wise, we've got the Buster Cannon. This is simple but effective. It looks great in the hand, but I will mention that it is not fully anime color accurate, so you may need to paint. The shield is also kind of simple, just 2 parts, that's the white and the red, but Bandai married them together so perfectly, we've got some nice parts layering, and once it is equipped, it looks pretty damn good. Again, there may be some simple stuff inside of this box with a simple kit, but it's all just better than the sum of its parts. When it comes to the articulation, I would be lying if I said that it's perfect, but for the price, it's beyond impressive. Overall, the entry grade Wing is a solid little kit, if you make sure to push the joints in properly. Unlike me. Amazing range of motion across the board, with the only real limitations being the ball joint hips as standard of the entry grade line. A standard that likes to break a lot, so be careful. Delicate kit warning. Overall, you will get some great poses, and what makes this even more impressive is the fact that this kit has a full transformation to bird mode, which you probably won't know about because it doesn't say it on the box or anywhere in the manual. I guess they just want you to wing it. Despite the secrecy, it's an impressive and accurate transformation with a very nice leg thruster, moving gimmick, and the finished bird mode looks mwah. The final word. A phenomenal buy that doesn't press the self-destruct button on your wallet. When it comes to Gunpla, there's awesome kits and not so awesome kits. But there is one line of Gundam model kits that has never dropped the ball. Master Grade SD. And moving forward and gaining 2 in the 5th position is the Master Grade Gundam Aerial, a pint-sized mini mecha masterpiece. With the Master Grade SD Aerial, you get the perfect out-of-box build. Everything that crams into this tiny Master Grade package is just jaw-dropping. Tons of moving gimmicks, layering parts with multiple finishes from matte to shiny to metallic to clear. The Master Grade SDs are some of the best builds going right now. If you haven't tried one, you owe it to yourself to give them a go. You may think they look a little bit funny because they're small, but these are the ultimate Gunpla. Aesthetically, it's both hilarious and sad to say that this is the most gorgeous Gundam Aerial has ever looked in plastic. It be an SD and all. 100% color accurate out of box, the only stickers in here are the optional decals. Detail everywhere. Piping, vents, metallic detailing, clear parts layered on metallic detailing. Those piercing eyes look astounding. Overall, no matter where you look, this kit looks phenomenal. The only mild letdown here is the fact that these shell units don't really pop quite as much as other Aerial Gunpla offerings, but overall, a masterpiece. The accessories in here is a take on the classic Gundam sword, board, and beam rifle loadout with some extras. Posable hands with a brand new peg that revolutionizes Gunpla weapon grip. I mean, this is crazy. This is a brand new rail system that absolutely changes the Gundam grip game. This is Gundam grip perfected. In here we've got a concealed action base attachment hole, basic beam sabers with a brilliant new grip. Literally, I can't stress enough just how good this new grip is. When not in use, these store in the backpack. We've got a simple beam rifle with glowing beam effect taken straight from the high grade. This can also store in the backpack when not in use. This Aerial's version of the escutcheon weapon system is the best to date. Beautiful in shield mode, it can split down into the various bit staves. I will however mention that you do need a not included stand system, the Witch from Mercury stands, in order to display these flying around. When not used as a shield or the staves, these can also be attached onto the Aerial itself to replicate the bit-on form. Finally, in here is an optional set of shell units in blue to show Aerial in permit score 6. However, once you pop them in there, they barely show through the clear plastic and look a bit anemic. But this does open up the opportunity to paint them. But yeah, out of box, a little bit flat. When it comes to the articulation, I'm not exaggerating when I say this is perfection. A rock-solid build combined with fluid great joints results in a mini, kinda hilarious posing machine. We've got it all in here, amazing shoulders, toe bends, and we've got that old school splitting armor in the thigh when you bend the knee. This really does make me yearn for a Master Grade Aerial Gundam in full scale. This thing right here makes the full mechanics, well, feel like a toy. The final word. Another astounding addition to the only perfect line of Gundam model kits. Blowing the head off the 4th position with a hand that's burning red is the real grade Shining Gundam. Orgies are back on the menu, baby. After a couple of sloppy screw-ups last year, this year's Orgy kits are back on track. 2 real grade releases this year, and both of them have made it into the top 10, starting with Domon Kashu's Shining Gundam from Mobile Fighter G Gundam. When it comes to the build, real grade is finally back with a mini Master Grade style build. A full buildable inner frame, insane engineering, and you better stretch and limber up those fingers because we've got some tiny parts. Heavily based on the God of Gunpla articulation, the God Gundam, this brings the same level of awesome, but sadly the same finicky, early real grade Syndrome forearms. Aesthetically, there is no denying that the real grade Shining Gundam looks phenomenal. Out of box, it looks exactly like this version should. like a real-world version of the anime icon. Slap on the included decals and get some ink in the lines, and you have an instant mini masterpiece. All of the usual real grade good stuff is here: 100% color separation, tiny intricate parts, perfect silhouette, two-tone white, layered detail, but the stickers for eyes is a mild letdown in 2025, and the injection gold may or may not be to your taste. Overall though, astounding. This box right here might be a little bit light on the accessories, but what it lacks in weapons, it makes up for in hands, with a grand total of 11. Each and every one of these hands has been beautifully sculpted in dynamic poses. The flat hands in here have an extra wrist hinge, and the iconic shining finger is molded in metallic pearl green. As for weapons, we do have a pair of relatively plain beam sabers that look badass in the hands due to the nice articulation. They can be stored on the side skirts, and this kit even includes hands to pose it like in the G Gundam intro, as well as an absolutely awesome G Gundam sticker for sticking on the beam to replicate the exact same scene. Also, this right here is another awesome Gunpla that does have one of those concealed stand attachment buttholes where you can cover over a flap over it so you don't actually see it when this kit is not on a stand. That is pure artistry. As well as that, we do have a full transforming core lander in here, we've got an opening cockpit hatch, and tons of moving parts. When it comes to the articulation and the posability, this kit right here is 11 out of 10, on par with the god of articulation itself, the real grade God Gundam. And that is because, under the hood of the Shining, that is pretty much what it is. This kit shares so many inner parts with the real grade God Gundam that you can actually pull both of those kits apart and everything, for the most part, is compatible. That's the legs, the arms, the torso can be swapped between the two, so you can make your own custom perfect Domon Cashew G Gundam Gundam. Besides the head, for some reason, Bandai decided to change the ball joint in the neck, so the head and the torso always has to stick together, no matter what way you kit bash them. It's not just the Shining's hand that glows with an awesome power. Every part and every joint does too, and that is the power to pose. Every single pose, defeated. This kit right here has the perfect marriage of biological humanoid and mechanical design, resulting in the perfect martial arts mecha. A full transformation to hyper mode that does not rely on swapping parts, opening, sliding and shifting parts in the head, shoulders, arms and legs, exposing gold parts in the shoulders, gold in the gauntlets, and gold thrusters in the sides of the legs, resulting in a subtle yet striking new form. And of course, the final word. If you want to get a chance at a perfect martial arts Gundam, then this kit will bright you now. What does that even mean? Get this kit, you won't regret it. It seems like only yesterday Iron-Blooded Orphans fans were begging for master grade releases, and in 2025 we got not one, but two for the 10th anniversary of the anime. Blasting its way into the third position with pistols akimbo is the master grade Gundam Vidar. When it comes to the build, this kit features the typical Iron-Blooded Orphans 2-tier build. Beautiful piston-clad Gundam frame on the inside and gorgeous Ippei Gyobyu designed armor on the outside. Gone are the master grade Barbatos dreaded C-clip Barbatos, and weirdly enough they've inverted the shoulders, so it does mean the Barbatos in this kit are not directly out of box compatible. Overall though, there really isn't anything like building up an inner frame and then draping it in badass armor on the outside. The finished kit is solid enough, but it can't escape that Iron-Blooded Orphans wiggle. With this kit, it is full marks when it comes to the aesthetics. Bandai aced this assignment, simultaneously looking anime accurate while being a perfect rendition of Ippei Gyobyu's art. Just like Barbie, it's beautiful armor on exposed mechanical Gundam frame. Bandai, however, have stepped up the overall surface detail when it comes to the Vidar right here. We've got extra greebles, raised parts, and incredible parts layering. On this kit, we've got grey parts layering up through the black to give us grey surface detail through the black, and the exact same thing when it comes to the blue. Black plastic raises up between the blue sections, giving those black lines. What you would have needed to panel line before is actually immediately created just by pushing two parts together. And it does so to incredible effect all around the kit. This is a massive upgrade to the high grade and full mechanics. What can I say? This is the ultimate Vidar. On top of that, we do have some nice clear pink around back, fully color separated pink eyes, dual layered verniers with red on the inside, black on the outside, and one of the most badass color schemes in the entire Gundam catalog. Oh yeah, sticker decals too. Inside of the box with the Master Grade Vidar is a decent yet simple set of accessories. The hands are the swappable finger Master Grade type, with 8 types of fingers and a beautiful sculpt. The rifle is deceptively simple at first glance, but getting in close you can see that there's dark detailing coming through from a central layer, a clear part chrome sticker combination for the lens, and removable ammo magazine underneath. I will say this weapon attaches on okay with a somewhat weak grip, but it does do alright overall. Next up we've got a pair of pistols with an overall simple build featuring a cool slide mechanism on top. Seriously, nothing looks more badass than a giant mecha with twin pistols, and when they're not in use, the Vidar shoves them down its drawers like a gangsta. Drawers also featuring a nice quick draw mechanism. When it comes to the burst saber rapiers, these are simple and effective, but what makes them really incredible is the ridiculously cool, almost Attack on Titan style gimmick in the side skirts. What we've got right here is a huge sliding mechanism that actually reloads the blades, just like out of your Japanese anime. The articulation in the Master Grade Vidar is great, not crazy extreme, but insanely good all round. The articulation in the Master Grade Vidar is great, not crazy extreme, but insanely good movement all round. Some minor issues with build strength and popping off of parts here and there, mainly being the shoulders and some verniers on the legs, but I mean, by iron-blooded orphan standards, this is a masterpiece. This poses and hold poses well, aura farms like a champ, has moving pistons in the frame, and some awesome gimmicks like the aforementioned sliding mechanism in the side skirts, and we do have moving foot blades too. The final word. If you've been questing for the edgiest of edgelord Gundams, this is it finally perfected. The Master Grade Vidar is just for you. Going berserk in the second position, the silver medal winner and for me the second best Gundam kit of 2025 was the Master Grade Gundam Barbatos Lupus. And to be blatantly honest, you could swap the second and third place depending on your own personal preference. With a whole lot in common, the Barbatos won out over the Vidar on accessories, an overall tighter build, as well as the mass appeal factor. Even though they do come close in regard to quality, I do feel the Barbie outdoes the Vidar. The build of the Master Grade Barbatos Lupus is the same phenomenal build as 2019's Master Grade Barbatos, just upgraded. The new parts in here are a bit of a double-edged sword. On one hand, because it's based somewhat on the runners of an older kit combined with new parts, runner or sprue management during the build can be a bit unruly. On the other hand, and more importantly, all of the issues found in the 2019 Barbie have been pretty much fixed for the ultimate Barbatos build. Visually, this is the Gundam frame model kit IBO fans have dreamed about in the decades since the anime was released. Simultaneously regal and savage, Bandai Spirits have nailed the assignment. Perfectly knightly with the sharpness of an alpha predator, this is the design that has inspired a plethora of Chinese wannabe mecha designs. On this kit, all colors are clear and accounted for, color-separated clear green eyes, clear green knee details with chrome stickers in behind, and the surface detail on this kit is unparalleled in Gunpla. I'm not exaggerating when I say this has the surface panels of a master-crafted custom Gundam kit. Details that look scribed and chiseled, greebles and armor panels that stand out from the surface. Bandai is learning from the custom-built greats. Also, I will mention sticker style decals are included, but I had to fast track this build as it arrived just in time for Christmas Eve. Finally, this is the perfect Barbatos Lupus, a savage, powerful model kit masterpiece. The high grade and the full mechanics just pale in the shadow of this version's perfection. When it comes to the accessories, the Master Grade Barbatos Lupus breaks the Gunpla mold with a unique mix of savage melee and long range, plus some finger options. The fingers work out well and grip better than the Master Grade Vidar, which is very important when it comes to heavy-duty weapons like the mace sword and upcoming BFS add-on. At first glance, the sword mace looks a bit plain, but it has great molded detail, two-tone cool and warm grey plastic, and locking ridges on the handle to lock it into the swappable fingers. For the most part, Barbatos Lupus has more than enough strength to wield the mighty mace, but can struggle somewhat with extended one-arm poses. The maracas or mace chants feature a nice build, same detail and dual grey tones as the larger equivalent, lock into the hands perfectly, and insanely cool storage around back. as the backpack can crack open to reveal pistol-mounted subarms for delivering the stored weapons around to the arms. Which are a bit fucking finicky, I won't lie, but they are cool in theory. Overall, the articulation on the Barbatos Lupus is fantastic. Insane range of movement in every joint, combined with moving pistons and tiny gimmicks. There's more than enough to satisfy even the pickiest of posers. User-friendly all around, it's a miracle Bandai engineered a kit made of huge pointy bits with a toothpick for a waist to work so well. Nothing pops off like the Vidar, and the super weak C-clip toes from the 2019 Barbie are gone forever. Well, they're still a bit weak, but they're not that bad. The final word. A bestial berserker finally perfected. This is a kit that won't make your iron flower wilt. So before we jump on into the #1 position to see the best Gundam kit of 2025, it's time for the annual Mecha Gaikotsu Awards. Basically awards for the model kits that did not make the list, which still have some standout characteristics about them, whether good or bad. And this year's awards are as follows: Most Unique, P Award, Mecha's Choice, Mrs. Mecha's Choice, as suggested by you guys on YouTube, Grenade Award, as suggested over on the Mecha Gaikotsu Patreon, Panel Line Award, and of course the list would not be complete without Worst Kit 2025. So here we go, jumping right on into it with the most unique kit of 2025. That to me was a difficult one because we got so many very different kits out there, but from the kits that were full release that didn't get onto the list, I have to hand it to the high-grade Galus J. This is a kit that is asymmetrical. It's almost like a, well, downgraded Hammer. It's got a cool head, it's got a really funny left arm with red fingers, it's got a sideways beam rifle. Everything about it is just so wacky in the perfect Zeta Gundam style sort of way. Every year or two we do get a few Zeta Gundam kits, which always keeps me very happy as a huge Zeta Gundam fan, and this weird little green monster just did it so nicely. I love it. Sad it didn't make the list, loses its tits all of the time for some reason, glue them in there, but it deserved the award. Great kit. Next up is the P Award, aka the premium Bandai kit that's actually worth your money, and to me the best premium Bandai release of the year. That was the high-grade Reben Wolf for me, definitely hands down, head and shoulders above the rest. When it comes to Advance of Zeta kits, well, let's just say premium Bandai doesn't have the greatest track record. Yes, they're absolutely beautiful, but a lot of time they're based on kits, and they just will flop over, fall over out of box, need a lot of modification. Not this kit. I gave it Gundarium tier. I did boost the stats a little bit, because you just don't see Advance of Zeta kits that good, but it is amazing. It's rock solid, it looks cool, and the best thing about it is it may lead to this actual beast right here being made in high grade. Mwah, beautiful. Next up is Mecha's Choice, aka the kit that did not make it to this list that I just love. Sometimes there's kits I fall in love with that just aren't the greatest kits around, but there's some magic about them, and to me this year that's the high-grade Gelgoog. It's Gelgoog in name alone. It looks like a gym, but it's nothing like any kit you would have seen before. All of the G-quax kits all build up in different kind of ways. It's a very eclectic high-grade line, and this right here is a kind of take on the gym we never would have seen before. Simplified joints, crazy design featuring fuel tanks inside of the legs, a really kind of weird, simple, real robot head. Everything about it is beautiful. I had to pan line it, top coat it, decal it. Out of box you have to paint it. It's just missing a lot of the colors. It's not a perfect kit, but it's one I fell in love with. Mrs. Mecha's Choice. I asked my wife to take a look at the entire lineup from this year, P Bandai and full release, the entire lot of them, and point out what she thought was the coolest kit. Now there's a few that she pointed out that she liked here, there, and everywhere, but in the end she zoned in on the police Saku. What she said was she just loved the overall kind of cyberpunk police vibe to it. It looks like something that the future would actually have when it does come to, well, police enforcement, like something you'd actually see in the game Cyberpunk 2077 just drop out of the sky. And honestly, that's what it is. It's an awesome looking kit. Oh yeah, and she also said, thick thighs save lives. As suggested by you guys on YouTube, the Hand Grenade Award. Now, one thing I will actually say is, thankfully you're not really seeing so many hand grenade-esque kits anymore, and definitely not from the full release kits we saw this year. So that means I had to go right to the P Bandai kits, right to the older kits, and lock right in on a real grade, the real grade Exia Avalanche Dash. Now, Bandai has retooled the upper legs and stuff, so it's not as bad as it was, but this is still a real grade at its core with a whole bunch of stuff added on top of that, just asking to fall off. I put it away into a crate, took it out of the crate, and it started to rain off parts already. It's beautiful, it looks great. I will never ever touch it or move it again. It's staying in this pose forever because at its core, it's a hand grenade. As suggested on Patreon, Panel Line Award. That's easy, hands down goes to the high-grade Monkey Roadie. Out of box it's just a ball, but it's a ball covered in lines. You just hit your panel liner marker or your Tamiya Extra Thin into this and it will just flow through all of those lines. It's almost like a kind of panel line therapy, just watching the lines fill in calmly, beautifully. It's zen. And finally, Worst Kit 2025, and I can actually throw this into a category from last year too, which was Most Stickers. That right here is the Entry Grade Glass Feather Gundam. This thing is an absolute sticker mess. And the weird thing is, this kit is kind of redundant. At the exact same time, in the exact same week of the year, we got two versions of this kit. One is absolutely beautiful. It's a take on the Oryx 78-2 with some nice crystal wings and crystal panels all over the place. And then we got this one. Instead of crystal glass feathers, they're just stickers. And some of the giantest stickers I have ever seen. But then again, at its core, it's not that bad a kit. Compared to previous years, this was a good year for Gunpla. So the worst isn't even all that bad. And finally, when it comes to my choice for best Gundam kit of 2025, blasting into the air to the pumping EDM beats of rhythm emotion is the Real Grade Wing Gundam Zero. And what a redemption arc for Real Grade this year has been. In 2024, Bandai farted out two dud orgies, one with a factory error and the other just being, well, entirely an error. But with the Wing Zero, Real Grade is back and better than ever, and this is the first ever X-Gundarium tier kit. The new king of Real Grade, 10 out of 10 in every aspect, sheer masterpiece. The build of this kit right here is nothing short of wondrous. The first ever Real Grade kit to come with no advanced joint runners inside the box at all. And just in case you don't know what that means, advanced joint was the core of early Real Grades, a kind of inner skeleton that came pre-molded that over time would break down and kind of reduce your kit to a floppy mess. Bandai have tried to keep this in the kits to some degree, even to tiny little pieces, but this one right here is the first ever kit without it at all. It's a revolution. This is a work of art and for me, my own personal most enjoyed build of the year. You can optionally build it inner frame first to see the insane engineering, then snap on the beautifully sculpted armor piece by piece. Gone are the days of building the advanced joint frame and throwing some armor on in about an hour or two. This is one involved build. Aesthetically, I was blown away by this kit with the force of a twin Buster rifle. I was expecting the normal, yet incredible, Real Grade experience like with the Shining Gundam. That is not what this is. Not at all. This kit follows in the footsteps of the Real Grade Gundam 2.0. This kit is a Real Grade 2.0, even if it doesn't say it at all on the box. The next generation of Real Grade, featuring a jaw-dropping silhouette with beautifully artisanally crafted armor facets that catch the light, adding to the intensity of the Wing Zero design that has honestly undergone a glow-up for the ages. Every color represented, a masterful split of the white into two tones. Even the inner frame is two-toned with the complement of metallic silver, which helps push the clear green of the chest gem. Bulky Wing Gundam calves the way we love them, panel lines, greebles, layered detail, color-separated eyes all jammed into this tiny plastic package. It's insane. Sticker decals also included too, but I'd recommend waiting for the water slides to not ruin this tiny masterpiece. The accessories in here consist of the standard sword, board, and beam rifle, just master crafted. 5 hand options including fists, actual fists with no hole. The molding and sculpt on these is beautiful down to the individual finger joints. Again, I stress, this kit is barely 5 inches tall. The holding hands for the twin busters feature a sumptuous nipple, which locks into the grooves inside of the wrist socket for never before seen buster cannon handling prowess. More on that in a minute. The beam sabers are relatively normal, hold in the hand perfectly and store away in the shoulder panels when not in use. Again, a hidden stand hole in the rear, this time towards the back so it won't block the articulation of the legs like the usual Gundam stand butthole. The shield features the same detail and superior color separation much like the mech itself, with clear green, moving fins up front, extension gimmick, and flipping arm attachment. Detailed is an absolute understatement. This locks onto the arm perfectly and flows painstakingly with the kit's insane posability. Of course, inside of this box, the stars of the show are the twin Buster rifles. 2 shades of grey, yellow, moving parts including move-in handles, and a Real Grade exclusive extension gimmick. The locking wrist mechanisms means no issues holding the separate busters in that iconic spinning blast pose. And for the first time ever, and I mean ever, Wing can seamlessly join them together without the need to detach them, fold handles up, or any of the other miscellaneous shite-hawking from the past. You can take the arms from the extended outwards pose and just bring them seamlessly together. This is so refreshing. The Wing Zero is an absolute posing unit. This kit is insane. So many moving parts, your jaw will be on the floor. Incredibly solid considering the amount of moving parts crammed in here, and overall fantastic range of motion at every single joint. Some minor limitations from the skirting and ankle armor, but that really is just splitting hairs. After all, this is called the wing, not the foot. It should be posed in the sky, not on the ground. The cherry on top of this perfect posing parfait is those wings. Opening spreading mechanisms, 5-axis articulation, a rotating switch which actually spreads the thruster verniers around back. These are a work of art in and of themselves. Have the wings Master Gundam style? Spread wide, posed like a Gundam meteorite. These are the most expressive wings in all of Gunpla. Did I mention on top of all of this, there's a transformation? Once again, the real grade nails it. A perfect, impressive transformation with so many moving parts and gimmicks, your head will spin. Opening wings, hidden verniers in the shoulders, the craziest splitting leg-foot vernier transformation I have ever seen. Again, this kit is 5 inches tall. It's pretty obvious here, Bandai has definitely made a deal with the devil for this arcane mini mecha model kit technology. All this articulation and intricate transformation, yet it still doesn't compromise the robot or the flight form. Pure black magic. The final word. This right here is the best kit of 2025 for so many reasons. So much tech crammed into a tiny package. This is a real grade 2.0, doesn't say it on the box. All I can say is buy it. You deserve it. So that is it, the top 10 kits of 2025. Overall a decent year for Gunpla, dominated mainly by G-quax high grades as it was the anime release of the year. Complemented by 2 master grades, 2 high-grade iron-blooded orphans, 2 Zeta double Zeta kits including the mighty Psycho Gundam Mark II, 1 seed high-grade, 3 budget entry grades, 2 real grades, and 1 master grade SD. So, a little bit of something for everyone. No perfect grade this year, but right about when this video is going live, the biggest release of the past 5 years, the perfect grade new Gundam Unleashed, is about to smash down. But yeah, as usual, drop in the comments your top builds of the year. Doesn't matter if they came out this year or not, just what do you recommend that you built this year to your fellow builders? As always, thank you so much for watching, and here's to another year of builds in 2026. If you like my content and want to support the channel, consider joining my Patreon. Videos go live there early, ad-free. As always, best of luck, best of building, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. As always, thank you so much to each and every one of you guys who watches my videos, and special thanks at the end of the video right here to the channel members and the members over on Patreon, including Scotty Thomas, RG59061, Joe, Van Fawn, Caleb Engelhart, Christopher Hamzy, and Dismas.